All right, let's talk about wine. We're gonna uncork the whole topic today. And look, forget all the complicated, stuffy etiquette. This is just a straightforward, super practical guide to help you store and serve any bottle like you've been doing it for years. Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? That little moment of panic when someone hands you the wine list and you just freeze? Or you get a nice bottle as a gift and you're terrified you're gonna ruin it? We have all been there. Well, we're here to make sure those fears are a thing of the past. So, here's our plan. We're gonna start with the absolute basics. What even is wine? Then we'll get into the essentials, storing it right, serving it at the perfect temperature, the art of the pour, and we'll finish with the grand finale, champagne. Seriously, it's everything you need from the grape to your glass. Okay, let's start at square one. Because honestly, understanding the simple fundamentals is the key to appreciating everything else that comes after. At its heart, wine is just that, fermented grape juice. It's beautiful in its simplicity, but here's what's really fascinating. You can't just grow wine grapes anywhere. They need a very specific climate. Think of it like a sweet spot. Enough sun for the grapes to get ripe and sugary, but also cool enough winters so the vines can rest. This means pretty much all of the world's wine comes from these two narrow bands on the globe between the 30th and 50th latitudes, both north and south of the equator. And because of that climate specificity, the numbers are pretty wild. A staggering 3/4, yes, 75% of all the world's wine is produced in Europe. And the big three, the absolute powerhouses, are Italy, France, and Spain, with Italy sitting at the top of the list. Okay, so you've bought a bottle? Now what? Let's talk about storage. And this isn't just for fancy, expensive bottles. Storing even your everyday wine properly is the absolute key to protecting its flavor and just getting the most enjoyment out of it. Right? Let's be real, most of us don't have a huge, fancy wine cellar. And the good news is, you absolutely do not need one. The rules for good wine storage are actually incredibly simple and totally achievable for anyone. So here are the 4 golden rules. But if you remember only one thing, make it this: consistency is king. A steady temperature, even if it's a little on the warm side, is way, way better for wine than big, wild temperature swings. And always, always store bottles with a cork on their side. Why? Because it keeps the cork wet and plump, which prevents it from shrinking and letting oxygen in. Honestly, a dark cupboard or the corner of a garage can be a perfect makeshift cellar. Okay, so you've stored your wine like a pro. The next step is maybe the single easiest thing you can do to make your wine taste dramatically better: serving it at the right temperature. This is a total game changer. Now, these numbers might surprise you, because most of us serve our red wine way too warm and our white wine way too cold. But here's a really great pro tip for champagne. It definitely needs to be chilled, but pulling it straight from your super cold kitchen fridge, which is often around 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, can actually make it too cold. It numbs all those beautiful, delicate flavors. So you're actually aiming for just a little bit warmer than that. We have storage down, we have temperature down. Now for the main event. Let's actually open and serve this wine. We're gonna make sure you can do it with total confidence. These 5 little steps are your blueprint for an elegant pour. See that first step? Cut the foil below the lip. That guarantees the wine never touches the foil as you pour it. And please, whatever you do, do not skip the wipe. A quick wipe of the bottle's mouth before and after you pull the cork is such a simple but crucial step. It gets rid of any dust or mold, especially on older bottles. It's all about a clean, perfect pour. Now, if you're dealing with an older red wine, you might need to take one extra step. And this quote kind of adds a fun, dramatic flair to a really practical process called decanting. You definitely don't need a candelabra. Your phone's flashlight will do just fine. So what's the point of all this? It's simple. You're just trying to separate the gorgeous, clear wine from all that gritty stuff, the sediment that collects at the bottom of old bottles. By letting it stand up for a day or two, all that gunk settles. Then, that light source lets you see exactly when the sediment starts to creep up the neck, so you know the precise moment to stop pouring. Pretty clever, right? And now, for the grand finale, the most celebratory, exciting wine of all. There is a real art to serving champagne properly, and it all starts with understanding the sheer power you're holding in your hands. 70 pounds per square inch. That is the pressure inside a bottle of champagne. To put that in perspective, it's more than double the pressure in a typical car tire. So yeah, knowing the right way to open one isn't just about looking cool, it's about being safe.
Pay attention, because this is the single most important trick for opening sparkling wine. You hold the cork perfectly still, and you twist the heavy bottle, not the other way around. Twisting the bottle gives you so much more control and keeps the cork from snapping in half. You keep your thumb on top, hold it at that 45-degree angle, and just let the bottle's own pressure do all the work.
This right here, this is what separates the novices from the pros. Forget that loud, explosive pop that you see in movies. In the wine world, that's actually seen as a little, well, amateurish. What you're really aiming for is a gentle hiss, almost like a quiet sigh. That's the sound of a perfectly and safely opened bottle. It shows you are in complete control. Okay, let's just bust one more myth while we're at it. You've probably seen someone do this, right? Dangling a silver spoon in the neck of an open bottle of bubbly. It does absolutely nothing, I promise. If you have leftovers, the bubbles will last for a day or so just fine if you simply stick the bottle back in the fridge. No spoons required. So, after all these steps and temperatures and techniques, let's circle back to the most important thing. These are not meant to be rigid, scary laws. They're just tools. That's all. They're tools designed to help you unlock the absolute best possible experience from every single bottle of wine you open. At the end of the day, wine is about enjoyment, it's about exploration, and it's about feeling confident. So with these tools in your back pocket, the only real question left is, what are you going to try next? The world of wine isn't just for stuffy experts. It's for anyone who's curious. And now you have everything you need to start exploring.